Good morning, Marion. Hey, the big day is here. So as you can see behind me, they are starting to lift the big bowl up. If you look right about, sorry about my big fat finger, right about there, it's moved up right now about 8 inches to a foot. It's a slow process. I'm going to turn this around so you can see all the activity that's going on here. So let's spin that around. Okay, there we go. So if this will let me zoom it a little bit, you can see a few minutes ago it was sitting on those welds right there. Now that tank itself is 50 tons, so quite heavy, and that's empty. When this is filled with 500,000 gallons of water, it's going to weigh about 4.2 million pounds. So I was just talking to our public works supervisor right there, Mr. Brent Kane. Hi, Brent. He's telling me that when the footings went in for this thing, they're 4 foot round and 60 foot deep. So it's extremely secure down below, as you can see down there at the base. So talking to this gentleman right here, he's going to be one of the welders who later today will be up there welding this thing onto the bottom of the tank right there once it gets all the way up. So as you can see, it's up about 5 or 6 feet right now, so it's on its way. They indicated that this is one of the newer ways of putting new water towers up. They used to build these tanks at the top and do all the work up there. Of course, workers saying, man, it's a lot safer and a lot better to do it down here, and then just hoist it up with these giant hydraulic lifts up there on the top. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but they have tape measures going all the way around that thing to make sure that it is level, perfectly level going up. That all of those cranes are pulling at the same speed. Don't want to get something like this off-centered and start leaning to one side or anything like that. So I guess we're up about 6 or 7 feet now. Said the whole thing will take about an hour to an hour and a half to get it to the top, and then they'll start the job of making sure it's exactly positioned correctly, making sure everything's perfectly level, and then they'll start welding it up on top of that plate right up there. So you won't see any of that at the top anymore. It's be just like the other towers in town. It will be sitting up on top. So we'll keep you live here for just a little bit. Not something that you do see every day. So I can tell you right now, there's about 4 or 5 guys up there. There are a few more inside the tank, believe it or not. So I'm sure they are in there making sure that everything stays just the way it should. And we don't need any surprises. Don't want to see this thing rolling down 13 for sure. So we're up about, believe it or not, that's probably about 8 to 10 feet already off of the base of where it was this morning. So it is going. It's just I got to take it nice and slow, make sure it stays totally level as it goes up. Quite a few. If you look around, there's quite a few cars out here and onlookers coming around. Thanks to TV3, they're out broadcasting this live, I guess, too, so you'll be able to watch it on the news tonight. You can see we're coming up over the base tower is just about all showing now. We'll be getting up into the uprights right now. Let me give you a little different angle of this. Sorry about the sunshine there. I didn't think about that. I'm going to put it back behind where it was. We'll stay back here in the shade. It's a little bit easier to see what's going on and see the progress. So one thing we were hoping to do with this tower, as you can see, it's painted exactly like every other one in town with our big Marion blue and gold logo on it. We were hoping to put the Marion Wildcat on this one, but when we got into the pricing to add something like that on, it just was a little too cost prohibitive for us at this point in time. We thought, you know, this is fine right now. And if and when the next tower decides to go up, whenever it's needed, as long as we have plenty of lead time on it, it won't be quite as an expense as it is kind of coming in at the last minute and deciding to put a Wildcat head on the side. So it'll look good though. It looks good. It's got Marion on both sides, so you'll see it coming from Harrisburg way. You'll see it coming from the Carbondale way. So now you can see at the very base right there. We've cleared the conical shape of the base, and we're starting to go up the straight pieces. Those come in. I was talking to the guys this morning that weld this thing. Each piece that comes in one at a time, and basically they just stack them on top like little Legos. And
gotta run.
What about
Come out back a little bit. See how
all right. Do you know how big, Brett, each one of those pieces are that goes up?
I do not.
What do you think? Probably 20 feet?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So.
They need some more weight on their tape.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, they're blowing. Yeah.
I'll see you.
All right, thank you. So there you go. You can kind of see the progress over the last 10 minutes or so. It's up. Brett and I both think that each one of those pieces is about 20 to 30 feet tall. So once we clear that first piece, we'll be about 35 foot in movement already for this lift. So anyway, this is going to probably go on for another, maybe 45 minutes to an hour at the minimum. So it's a little like watching paint dry. I realize that, but it is something that probably a lot of people are only going to see once. So we'll stay out here a little bit. It's a little chilly this morning, I'm not gonna lie, but we're making it. For those that just got on, that tank there is a 500,000 gallon tank. All right, which is similar to the other tanks we've got around town. The empty tank right now that they're lifting right now is 50 tons that they're pulling up, 200 feet up in the air. And then when it is completely filled with water, that thing's going to weigh about 4.3 million pounds. So what I was talking about earlier, that base down there, that bottom is extremely sturdy, and it is extremely down deep into the footing. So it's about 60 feet down with steel and everything else. So hopefully it will stay up for decades and decades and decades to come. So now once this all goes up and everything's complete at the top, you will not see, of course, any of that. That will be all inside the tank. And then once it's up there, then that big crane you see next to him will actually hoist up the big cap. So at the very top of this tank right here, it's open, of course, right now. They've still got to put the top on this thing, and they'll weld that back on there, and they'll do that once it is way up on top. So they'll hoist that up there probably, in the next week. They will get that fully on top. It'll be painted. It's already painted. It'll get bolted on the top, and it'll be good to go. And then the process of filling will start. So hopefully this thing will be operational and online in the next couple of weeks. So if you do live here on the eastern side of town, and Spring Garden and all those subdivisions out here, this will provide a needed, little bit of a pressure increase. You should notice that you won't notice any drops in pressure when you might be using your water or whatever. A lot of other folks do at the same time. This should really alleviate that. So, plus it does give us 4 or 5 more days of water supply, if anything were ever to go, south in our water pumping capacity. So now you can see the bottom again. You can see about half of that first piece. You can see them up on top of there. That's a 25-foot piece. So we've got about half of it exposed now. So we're about 15 feet up maybe from where it was this morning. So you can see all the workers up top up there. We're gonna zoom in on those guys. That is not a job that I would relish at all. They are making sure everything's staying level, making sure those cranes and everything up there are pulling like they should. So I don't know if anybody's seen the inside of a water tower before, but the way, of course, this thing works is the main feeds come in down here at the bottom, obviously underground. They go right up through the middle, all the way up there through the top, and then they will come out very much in the top of that one and fill that tank from inside. So that's how that thing will work. And of course, the reason we elevate those tanks is to put pressure in the lines behind them, and so that's why it's up where it's at. So we do have one ground level tank at the water plant, and the rest of those, of course, that we have around town are all elevated. That's the reason why. So I will probably stay live on this until we maybe clear the first section right there. I mean, it's pretty much going to be more of the same as we hoist this thing up. It is moving, believe it or not. It's just slow. You can't take anything like this 50 tons at a time. It's got to move at a very controlled pace. So. And I do think that about every couple feet they are making sure, you see the guys up top, they're making sure that those tape measures that they're pulling up are exactly, within, whatever range they have of putting it up. So. I was speaking to these two gentlemen down here. They're two of the welders who are going to be going up inside there later to weld that thing onto that cap up there at the top. And he was telling me that this is considered a summer build, believe it or not, because all of this work on the main part of the tower and really the tank, most of this was done all through the summer. And he got lucky enough to weld on the inside of this upright all the way in here all summer long. And he said temperatures range anywhere from 120 to 140 degrees inside there in July and August. So told me that they were limited to about 10 to 15 minutes at a time of being up in there, and then had to come back down. And yeah, Matt, That's exactly what I want to do at 7:30 in the morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sing a song. Yeah. Baby, it's cold outside. So now you can see we are clearing the first section is clearing right now. So again, that's moved up probably just in the last minute about 5 more feet. So it is going. Of course, once this is all the way up, then the paint crew will come back down and they will finish painting the whole base of that. So that'll be another job in itself. If you saw them when they were painting the outside, it's pretty amazing to watch it done. Of course, this will be a little easier. It's just gonna be white. So when they painted that stripe on there, that was quite a feat to do that. But it's safer to paint it on the ground than at 150 feet in the air. So that's it. It's starting to take its a little bit more shape of what a water tower is supposed to look like. Maybe I'll walk over here and while the thing's going, since it's going slow, I just can't get inside their hard hat area here. So I'm going to ask them if they will be on camera. One of you guys want to be interviewed? Come on, give me some information. You did really good. Come on, you did really good earlier. So talk to me. This is Mike. What's your name again?
Trent Willis.
Trent Willis. Okay, Trent's the guy I was talking to earlier who was up inside this thing this summer doing the welding, right? So tell me about what temperature was it this summer?
I mean, inside the can itself, it probably got up to like 135, 140.
Yeah.
We had to take an early day off. The heat, can't say anything.
I imagine. So now your job today is going to be when this thing is all the way up there, you get to go in and weld the base to the tower. Is that right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we hope it too. So what time you think you're ready to go on stage to do that?
A couple hours at least. I mean, it's actually going up a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah. Should we be worried about that hole in the side right there?
No, I mean, right now probably if there was to be water in it, but no.
I imagine that's your access point right now.
Yeah, that's where we can.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. All right, so you get a good view here of how much it's moved just in the last couple of minutes. We're clearing the second building block right there is what I call them. I don't know what do they have a technical term. What those
Cans.
Cans. There we got the official technical term. It's a can. So we got 1.5 cans showing right now on the base. So it's working. You can really see it from this angle down here how tall this thing is, folks. It is literally. Do we know the exact height of it? I'd say about 180, close to 200 feet. So we're that's a lot of water 200 feet above your head. You know, well, no water right now, but there will be. So you can see the guys still up on top. They are measuring that thing, make sure that thing stays totally level up there. If you just joined us there, you can see what's happening again today. So it is going up. Barry, just so you know, your son is right over there. Reese has been over here with me most of the morning, but he took a different angle than me right now, but he's still on the job. So nice to see them there from TV3. So it's a perfect morning for this out here. A little chilly, but that's the way these guys like it. So just couldn't be frozen. They had to warm those lifts up on top. They were doing that this morning for about 30 minutes, making sure that whatever they had to do got them up to temperature before they could start lifting this thing. Make sure the cables were the right temperature and all that. so much engineering that goes into this thing. It's incredible. I don't think the camera picks it up, but when you're standing here, you can see it moving ever so slowly. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Donna. So it's moving really, really slow, but it is moving, you know. So not sure what speed that is, but it's up. It'll be close to about 40 feet, 45 feet here in a few minutes. Once that second, now that we know the technical term, a can, starts to show, you'll see the next weld come around here in a minute. And then that'll be 40 feet of can there, plus the little base parts. We kind of gave one of the foreman fits this morning when we came in. I asked him if it would be okay if we just rotated that tank just a little bit to the south so that the Marion sign would face 13 a little bit more from the direct angle of the west, and he gave me a nice look and said, yeah, it'll go where it decides to go. So he did say that it may move up to 6 inches or so as it goes up, and that's just part of it. So but it'll be very close. They'll be able to tell. So morning, Tommy. Morning, Ashley. Nice to see you. Yeah, whatever we can do to help your water department knowledge. Yeah, if I had my stopwatch on me, Shannon, I would do that. But I'm trying. Let's just put it this way: let's give them this challenge. It's gonna go 190 feet in 67 minutes. So there, let him calculate that rate. I don't know if that's exact or not, but at least it's a calculation you can put them to. So. So as you can see, we're on the bottom here. They are monitoring this from below. They're in contact with the guys up top, letting them know. He's communicating to his guys up top what's showing down here at the bottom, because obviously they can't see it. So there's that second weld coming into view right now at the bottom of the tank. So now that's 40, I'd say it's about 48 feet, maybe 50 feet from this morning when we started. We're going to see if we can get the question answered. Excuse me, do we know what's the rate of speed that's going up? I had somebody ask me on here.
A foot every 2 minutes, I think.
There you go, Shannon. 1 foot every 2 minutes. So there's another calculation you could put in place for your homeschool class. Perfect. And there you can see the second weld is now fully showing on the bottom. So we're up again. So. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got quite a few. We'll drop this to the city website once it's done.
Right.
I shouldn't say drop. We don't want anything to drop.
Right. This is the first water tower I've jacked in 26 years.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, this is the first one like its kind, really.
No kidding.
They've done smaller ones, but this is a 500 million or 500,000.
Yeah?
And it's the first one we've ever done.
and we found a lot of loopholes, you know, things that we could improve. So,
Right? Okay.
but it looks pretty good.
So this is we're the guinea pig here, huh?
Hey, right?
Should I back up?
Oh no.
Okay.
It's got a safety factor of about 60 to 80%.
Okay. That sounds good to me. So how many guys right now are up top right now, would you say?
5 right now.
5 guys up there. Okay.
And 2 more are heading up.
Okay. Gotcha. It does have a little wiggle at the bottom once in a while, doesn't it? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hard to imagine you can lift 50 tons like that.
Right.
Yeah. And how many jacks are up there on top?
8.
8 of them. Okay. Wow. It's impressive. I had somebody ask me earlier what that piece, let me show folks on camera, that piece right at the very top, it's on the left side there. On just a very...
It's a overhead, it's a, what do they call that? It's a painter's pick with a ladder. That's how we weld the overhead whenever we put the roof on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Will that stay up there or will that come, that'll all come
Nope,
down?
it'll come out.
Come out? Okay. All right. So now we know what that is.
What it does is it leans out, you climb up it, weld the overhead, then they bring it back up, then we bring it out.
Wow. Okay. At 200 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you been involved with the other water towers in Marion too, or not? Or just this one?
No, just this one.
Just this one? Okay.
I'm just lucky to be this close to home.
Right. Where are you from?
Ramsey?
Oh yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Shannon, we're glad we could make the math lesson relevant this morning. Good job. Centimeters per second. Conversions. Love it. Math and science happening at the same time. This is great. Hello, AJ. I was talking to